Right. The 24th of November 2020. This is KUTV Rise today, coming to you live from our studios here in Nairobi. This particular show is Biashara Tuesday. My name is Richard Okenye, and welcome to this broadcast. I'll be giving you business news, business stories, and discussions all the way to around 8:15 in the morning, so you definitely do not want to miss out on that on this particular broadcast. Reach me out on social media at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_Okenye. The hashtag to use, of course, is the hashtag Rise Today. Shout me out. Tell me how your weekend was. It's a very, very, very cold morning when I was coming in. I don't know how it is on your location. Remember, later on, you have to tell me what is happening on your roads and any advice that you have to give to anyone who's heading out for business this particular morning of Tuesday. So hit me up. Also, now SMS numbers that are broadcast on your screen. Now, in the December of 2018, Kenyatta University switched on the first phase of a 1.7 billion solar plant that will see the institution generate its own electricity and offload excess power to the national grid. The 100 kilowatt solar plant located on the main campus of Kenyatta University, that is off Thika Road, cost about 17 million Kenyan shillings. It was developed by a France-based solar panels manufacturer known as Abba Solar. Now, according to a headline that appeared on the Business Daily the past week, this does not seem to be an isolated case, because the growing shift to solar power systems by heavy consuming industrialists who are seeking reliable and cheaper supply has rattled electricity distribution of Kenya Power amid the thinning revenues that have been observed by that company. KPLC said that some of its industrial customers, who account for about 54.8% of its sales revenue, are gradually shifting to own-generated solar power, dealing a further blow, of course, to its already dwindling finances. Now, this big shift to solar power by heavy consumers has pushed Kenya Power into deeper dilemma in the wake of excess production of electricity. Some 19 off-grid solar companies operating have been offered to an access of 500 million Kenyan shillings, which is about $4.6 million of credit. And this is part of the COSAP's deal to finance them with an initiative of bringing solar power to around 250,000 off-grid Kenyan households and businesses by the end of 2023. With a budget of about 4.7 billion, the initial 500 million shillings will have to be offered to private and also to provide with clean cooking stove supply to them, and also to enable them to buy stock and set up distribution networks in the 14 Kenyan counties that are being targeted by COSAP scheme. Now, major solar energy projects have already been completed or are underway in various parts of the country. The most outstanding project to date is the $128 million Garissa solar plant in Kenya, which is the largest grid-connected solar power plant in East and Central Africa. Now, Kenya's Rural Electrification Authority, REA, a government agency, which recently changed its name to Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, owns and operates the solar plant in the northeastern Kenya region near the Somalia border. It is located in a semi-arid part of the country that enjoys 14 hours of sunshine each day, which means it is ideally suited for power generation. Now, with all these facts that I've mentioned, with the shift of most of the consumers and the customers to KPLC shifting towards the solar power generation, what does this mean for the company and for power consumption in the country? Understand, for the past 2 weeks, we've been having issues with the supply of electricity in the country. So what do you feel about the above stated facts? And of course, what does it look like for the country and for those who rely on solar power? Are we relying on solar power more than the interrupted and unreliable KPLC? Remember, ironically, this show is powered by KPLC, so it's also interesting to ensure that you give me that feedback on social media at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_Kenya. Now, later on the launch, Analytica Soft is something that we're about to look at. Now, Analytica Soft is a one-stop platform where you get all the people that you need, or the persons that you need with the skills that you want instantly at a press of a button. Someone could be in need of what you can offer. Have you ever thought of a moment when you get an SMS notification whenever someone needs the profession that you are offering? Let's say a plumber or an actor, an electrician, a house girl, an accountant, a hairdresser, or you just need someone to be an MC at your event. So what do you do if you need this. We shall be seeing how this is possible, of course, with the CEO of Analytica Soft to explain to me how they enable for you to get a professional at the touch of a button. Of course, tying this with another launch discussion with Thomas Mbashu, a financial engineer, as well as a lead business developer and strategist at JobJack Kenya. Mbashu will help me, of course, analyze the job market and point out the methods of seeking employment opportunities in this country, especially in a period when most of us have lost their sources of livelihood due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And of course, the work that we've done at JobJack. JobJack is a marketplace for entry-level positions, and it's a platform, of course, for connecting employers and relevant job seekers. By staying up to date with technology, they have created an easy-to-use platform where job seekers can register, create their JobJack CVs, and apply for available positions in their area. We shall be looking at that, of course, with Thomas Mbashu, financial engineer and business developer at JobJack. Tech Voice comes to you later on. It's our technology segment where we try and give you technological information or technology information that is relevant to you as a Kenyan, of course, something that is making impact all over the world. And what we're looking at today is online streaming, and this ranges from music all the way to movies. What is online streaming and how does it look like in the country? Remember, we have our own products in the country. We have filamu.co.ke, which I'll be telling you in a bit. We had an interview with them about 2 weeks ago, and they allowed me to have an access onto their platform to see what type of library they have and what sort of products they have on their online streaming platform. We shall be taking a look at that and some, of course, others such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Showmax to see how the competition looks like for them, and do we have solutions in the country for online streaming platforms. Remember, Spotify is still not available in your country. How do we go about that? We shall be taking a look at that on our Tech Voice segment. Coronavirus numbers. How are you looking like in the country in terms of the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic? Now, the country's COVID-19 cases have hit a new high of 77,785 after 413 more people were tested positive. That is in the past 48 hours. That is as of yesterday. And the sample size of 3,489 who was tested. However, 396 of more patients have recovered from the virus. 326 of whom are from the home-based care system, as 70 have already been discharged from the various health facilities that we have in the country. The total number of recoveries that have been observed in the country is now standing at 51,903. Sadly, 12 more people have succumbed to the virus, bringing the total number of those who have succumbed to the COVID-19 pandemic since the beginning of the year, bringing that number, of course, to 1,392. That's a huge number. And please take care and make sure that you maintain that social distance. 1,392 is what you're standing at in the total number of fatalities. Nairobi County still has majority of the cases, as it recorded 229 more of those cases yesterday. And the rest of the counties recorded less than 100 of those cases. It looks like cases are increasing in the country. The number of people who are being tested every single day is increasing. The number of people that we are losing, that number is accelerating. That is why, as my journalistic duty, I have to continuously inform you that you maintain that social distance. Ensure that you sanitize or hand wash as regularly as you can. Keep your mask on, avoid public places, and also ensure that those regulations that have been provided by the Ministry of Health and the World Health Organizations are being followed, so that we ensure that we beat this virus and ensure that the economy is revived even as we try and continue with our daily lives and head out onto the festivities that we're expecting next month. I shall be coming back with the traffic updates and what is happening on your road. So tell me definitely what is happening right there. I shall be getting that in a short while, courtesy of at Mathri Route. And tweet me up at Richard_Okenye and tell me those updates, what they're looking like. Last week on Tuesday, there was someone who was ferrying a chopper along Mombasa Road. I hope it arrived safely. Contrary to popular opinion, it wasn't mine, but you can tell me what is happening on any other road at Mathri Route on Twitter at Richard_Okenye. Definitely stay tuned to Biashara Tuesday. Biashara Tuesday on KUTV Rise today. The traffic updates as they happen on your roads. But remember, the topic of discussion that we are having today morning is what is happening in terms of KPLC versus the solar-generated electricity in the country. Are you using solar-powered electricity? Are you using KPLC? And what do you feel about the two? Remember, also in the launch, we shall be looking at employment opportunities and how it is you can look for employment or position yourself well with the skills that you have with the guests that I'll be having here. Remember, tweet me up that feedback at KUTV Kenya. I'll be reading a lot of feedback already coming in, of course, as regards to KPLC, even as we try and look at what is happening on your roads, courtesy of Athmas 3 route. On Thika Road, as always, all the way to Thika, it's smooth, but the reverse is not true. As I'm receiving it, Thika Road is moving, both highway and service lane towards Thika. Ukiwa haraka, tumia service lane from Survey mpaka Muthaiga, and then switch to the main highway. I love it when people give us suggestions on what to do, so I'll repeat that. Thika Road is moving, both highway and service lane. Ukiwa na haraka, tumia service lane from Survey mpaka Muthaiga, and then switch to the main highway. Traffic police. Of course, this is Owino Felix saying, good day, friends, and also to the traffic police on that road. Kiambu Road, I'm receiving here an image from one Jagi. It doesn't look good. It's a parking lot on both sides heading towards town. My people of Kiambu Road, I'm really sorry. You'll have to stay tuned to Biashara Tuesday before you head out to work. And good morning from Syokimau, Mombasa Road, from SGR to Cabanas. It's bumper to bumper. Hamisi _Njoroge. Bumper to bumper, that is Syokimau, Mombasa Road, from the SGR all the way to Cabanas. Kiambu Road ni teke till hapo CID, where kameshikana all the way till when joining the superhighway, the Thika Road superhighway, but clear after Pangani Underpass and along Muranga Road till town. This is our daily bread nowadays. The daily bread for Kiambu Road looks like it's a lot of traffic all the way from Muthaiga. 647, I received here from 647, Jogo Road hasn't been so bad. Traffic is moving slowly. Kev Kamuri, thank you very much. Good morning on Mombasa Road, no jam, flowing well all the way. That is via Katela Musau. Looks like there is no chopper that is being moved along Mombasa Road. So anyone heading out through Mombasa Road, Katela Musau tells me, looks good for you. Nairobi is known for the traffic snarl-ups, and we've accepted. So since most of us sleep on these matatus, they need to be fumigated. Mendes imekuwa mingi sana. Concern from Maina Mitch. In a star bus, na imebeba as usual. Actually, some few are standing. How serious and careful are we? Where does Starbus operate through? What is the route that Starbus, I'm being informed this is Kangemi Westlands. So the Starbus, nasikia inabeba, and actually a few of them are standing. This is a shame onto you, Starbus, for risking, of course, the lives of Kenyans out there. This is at Kijana. IG NPS, matatus are not adhering to safety rules. Do not, and these are the ones plying Komarok Eastleigh route. Give me more updates on what is happening on your road. That last one was courtesy of at TK Getash on Twitter. I'm coming up with news updates on what is happening all around the country and, of course, internationally. Stay tuned to KUTV's Biashara Tuesday. KUTV's Rise today. This is Biashara Tuesday with me, Richard Okenye. Remember this morning the discussion that we are having is trying to understand how power looks like for you. KPLC is losing a lot of its customers to solar powered, that is solar generated power. So do you use solar generated power, and how does it look like for you if you don't use that? What is it that you have to comment about KPLC and the interrupted power supply that has been observed in the country in the past few weeks? Last week's headline for the Business Daily was Kenya Power crying that most of its customers, and you should be looking at what those numbers are like, and who are those, or what are those industries that have decided to switch into solar power, solar generated power. Later on the launch, remember I said I will be sitting down with two gentlemen who will help me understand how the job market looks like in Kenya. One of them coming from Analytica Soft, where they enable skills and professionals with skills to be accessed by the touch of a button. And later on with Thomas Mbashu, who will help me understand how JobJack is ensuring that you get the market relevant skills as well as get those employment opportunities. How do you do that? Make sure that you tuned in on that launch segment and sending your feedback on over social media. Now, on to what is happening on your news all across the country. The Office of the Director of Criminal Investigations has reopened investigations into the country's 2007-2008 post-election violence that left more than 1,100 Kenyans killed. The Director of Criminal Investigations, George Kinoti, revealed that the push to reopen the cases was following complaints by several communities that are being intimidated and threatened.
With the political temperatures rising immensely in the country due to the anticipated referendum and a general election, which is 2 years away, a can of worms over the 2007-2008 post-election violence has been opened. While addressing the victims of post-election violence in the Office of Criminal Investigation, the sleuth boss, Judge Kinoti, revealed that they have reopened the lead into the 2007-2008 violence cases, following claims by victims of new threats against their lives.
No criminal cases which are ever crossed. Criminal cases are live throughout their lifespan. Kwanza sio kusema kwamba kwa hii makesi hakuna watu hakushikwa. Watu walishikwa. Na hiyo ni ukweli, si ndio? Lakini wengine waliposhikwa kama kule walikuwa 40. Unapata that time walikuwa arrested they were only 7. Then we're asking ourselves, where are the 33?
Kinoti said they had received reports of ongoing ethnic profiling in certain regions of the country, saying it was important to reopen the probe due to the atrocities that were witnessed, such as Kiambaa Church, where several people were burnt to death.
Going to the field, and soon we are going to see action from us. And in a very near future, sile tulikuwa tunasema ya kitambo, very soon.
Mimi mzee wangu alitoroka njia yake na mimi njia yangu. Sikujua ameuawa. Mahali tulitorokea kwa shule ya primary.
The Office of Director of Criminal Investigation insisting they will move and detach to ensure that no more violence and deaths are experienced.
Karibuni mtaona matokeo ya siku ya leo, labda hata ya kesho na kesho kutwa. Hata wale wengine wote walioathirika kwa njia yoyote, tafadhali, hii ni mboma yenu. Kujeni, tupatieni habari, na sisi tutatoka hapa, tutaenda na tutatafuta mtu yoyote ule tutajua saa hii anangojea labda ile ya 2007-2008 anafikiria labda itafanyika.
6 individuals, including President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto, were indicted at the time by the International Criminal Court for various roles, but their cases were dropped for lack of evidence. This comes days after Deputy President William Ruto lawyer Paul Gesheru, who represented Ruto in the ICC, surrendered to the criminal court after he was slapped with an arrest warrant in 2015 for allegedly influencing witnesses in the case against Deputy President William Ruto and his then co-accused Joshua Sang. Questions have emerged why these cases have been resuscitated now at a time when Deputy President William Ruto has emerged as the leader of the opposing side. He has been dismissing the BBI initiative as a more divisive agenda after he was told that there will be no amendments to the final document.
Still staying on matters politics and now BBI politics. President Uhuru Kenyatta and his handshake partner Raila Odinga will launch the collection of signatures to endorse the Building Bridges initiative tomorrow on Wednesday. The exercise has been scheduled for the November, or was scheduled for the November of 19th, but was postponed due to what the National Secretariat attributed to the late completion and publication of the Constitution Amendment Bill of 2020. Waweru said the process will take 1 week across the country, with assurance that the COVID-19 health protocols will be followed. Religious leaders and Deputy President William Ruto are among prominent voices which had called for a further review of the BBI report unveiled in October of 2020.
Mimi ningesema hizo sahizi zingekuwa zimekuja sahizi tumalizane nazo, tuingie kwenye referendum, tupitishe hii katiba, mambo ikuwe sawasawa. Na hiyo maneno ya sahihi tunafaa tupewe. Hata mimi niko ready na watu wangu tupitisha hii kitu.
Haijapelekwa vile sisi tulikuwa na ngojea na kutarajia. Imekuwa hijacked na watu ambao wanataka kutulazimishia BBI. Na kwanza tulistuka siku ya kwanza. Mtu mmoja aliposema ati sasa nyoka imetoka pangoni. Kama BBI ni nyoka iliyotoka pangoni, mimi naambia kanisa la Mungu ambaye mimi naongoza kwa Baringo, hatuwezi unga mkono.
Now, on to matters. The NCA, Principal Secretary, State Department for Public Works, Gordon Kihalangwa, has called out the National Construction Authority for failing to properly define the 30% policy for local contractors and technology transfer. Now, listen in.
The number of foreign contractors, including Chinese contractors, tendering for infrastructure work in Kenya has increased in recent years, thus increasing competition for local contractors. The Kenyan government, through the National Construction Authority, intervened by introducing regulations that restrict the categories of work open to foreign contractors, and also stipulated that foreign contractors must either establish a joint venture with local contractors or locally subcontract a percentage of the work. However, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Public Works, Dr. Gordon Kihalangwa, has questioned the authority for failing to properly define the policy that protects local contractors.
We want it properly defined. What exactly is that 30%? So that our local contractors are actually not just given those small things.
Further, the provisions of the NCA Act 2011 and the NCA Regulations 2014 instructed foreign firms to transfer technical skills not available locally to a local person or firm, a policy that has not been fully implemented to date.
When you are talking about 30% in a project, the subcontractors exactly know what is it they are going to do. So it's not just small jobs which will not. Because at the end of the day, when you have got a mega project in this and it's being done by foreigners, we want to see that at least technology transfer is done. So that at the end of the day, in another 2-3 years, that same work can actually be done with our contractors.
President Uhuru Kenyatta in his regime has largely popularized the Buy Kenya, Build Kenya policy, meant to promote products and services offered locally, and also a dominant issue in his Big Four agenda. Grace Josephine, KUTV, Nairobi.
Is your child getting enough nutrition? Nyandarua County government has raised concerns over the increasing cases of child malnutrition in the county. Experts in the country have attributed the rise in child malnutrition to the children consuming unbalanced diet.
Nyandarua is a long, narrow county lying uniquely between the Great Rift Valley and the Aberdare Ranges. Even without seeing the wildlife here, the views of the Aberdare with gullied and forested tops offers a splendid attraction. But there is more than meets the eye. Experts in this part of the country are worried about the increased cases of the non-communicable diseases. They have explained that it is as a result of high carbohydrates intake.
As partners and stakeholders, we have come today and decided to see how can we see and help in reducing the NCDs. And one of the key areas that we have looked at is on issues to do with food security and nutrition, trying to see if we can be able to improve, change the kind of foods that we are eating in the county so that we reduce this burden of NCDs.
County Executive Committee member for Health Services, Dr. John Mungai, has decried that the county, despite the country having enough food, most of the children were not growing as per the required standards.
What we have noted in Nyandarua is that we have stunted children. Our children are not growing to the right height. Why? Because as much as they are getting enough amount of food, the quality, the nutrients are not in the right quantities. So we have what we call malnutrition.
Dr. Mungai added that through the Department of Agriculture, the county had plans to empower farmers to do poultry farming as a way of boosting balanced diet in the society. In Kenya, the consequences of malnutrition should be a significant concern for policy makers, where a total of children below the age of 5 are 7 million and 26% of them are suffering from malnutrition. Winfrey Owino, KUTV.
Ensure that your children are receiving enough or balanced diet, therefore, to avoid cases of malnutrition. Residents of Mavoko in Machakos County are staring at a live danger following massive contamination of Kicheko Dam located at Syokimau that has been a source of domestic and irrigation water. A spot check at the area confirmed that the estates have been pumping raw and untreated sewer effluent into the vast Kicheko Dam. Take a look.
This is Kicheko Dam, which is the sole source of water for irrigation and fishing by the farmers in Mavoko area. Residents and businesses are facing a challenge when nearby estates emit raw sewer water into the dam. Moses Ochieng, a fisherman in the contaminated Kicheko Dam, together with others, have been relying on the dam to earn a livelihood. After fishing, they supply the fish delicacy to waiting customers, oblivious of the lurking danger. According to him, the underground pipes from the nearby estates emit untreated effluents that have endangered not only humans but also marine life. In the expansive vegetable farm, we meet 73-year-old David Mutua, the area village elder who has been farming through irrigation by use of Kasuitu Dam waters for the last 32 years. He said nearby estates have erected underground tunnels that directly emit raw sewer water into the dam.
Hakuna hatua inachukuliwa, maji inaendelea tu na kuteremka ambao inadhuru watu. Na kuna sehemu hatuwezi pita. Kama mimi ni mzee wa kijiji, mimi kawaida yangu ni kuripoti. Nikiripoti sioni action ambayo inaendelea.
According to Mutua, vegetable vendors flock the farms early morning to buy their stock that is sold to the entire Mavoko and some parts of Nairobi. Mutua says there is an urgent need for finding a lasting solution on water pollution, otherwise it will be exposing consumers to danger. Daniel Mwanza, who is a farmer, also says that unless something is done, he has no choice but to continue farming to feed his family.
Changamoto kama wakaaji na kama wakulima hapa Mlolongo, sababu tumekuwa na kuona maji yanatoka kwa manyumba kubwa, maji ambayo ni siwa, inapikwa direct, inakuja kwa mito zetu. Tumeona pia maji ikipigwa kutoka kwa makampuni, maji ambayo iko na chemical, inaletwe kwa mto, mahali ambapo sisi tunategemea ile mto kwa ukulima.
It is their wish that the county government look into this issue. Caroline Kimwele, Reporting for KUTV.
KUTV Rise today. Remember, alternative sources of power is what we are looking at this morning on KUTV's Rise today. And we're trying to understand what are those alternative sources of power. Remember, KPLC is raising alarm over the fact that most of its consumers are now turning onto solar generated power. I'm going to look briefly through what it looks like for KPLC. It projects that the latest growth in demand remain at approximately 2.3% in 2020, which is much lower compared to the historical average of 5.9% need for electricity that is generated by KPLC. Big power consumers are now moving onto solar grid-tied system to supply power for their use, of course, because it's a reliable supply system and reduces operational costs. What are these big power consumers, for example? We talked about Kenyatta University, which is setting up a 100 kilowatt station right here, right in their campus, right in the campus of Kenyatta University. The same is the case for Moi International Airport in Mombasa, which is also set to install a 500 kilowatt solar system. Nairobi's Garden City Mall is setting up a $1.9 million, that is around 207 million Kenyan shillings, solar carport to generate 1,256 megawatt hour. London Distillers, the same thing. Wilson Tea, the same thing. And this is happening all across even academic institutions such as Kenyatta University, as we mentioned, Strathmore University in 2014, of course, starting out with 600 kilowatts of rooftop solar plant, as well as other copper oil refineries, the National Oil. And official data released about last year shows that 2.3 million households in the country also used solar for lighting, representing about 19.3% of the total number of homes. How does it look like for KPLC and even for you as well? What are you using for your power consumption at home? What are those alternative sources of power that you can use even as you try and reduce our operation costs? I'm going to read one feedback from you, and this is coming from Jacob Nyende. He's saying that, good morning, Jacob Nyende is my name. Solar energy is becoming cheap and readily available, especially for people in Mashinani who are embracing. I guess that's what he's saying, is they're saying that people in the Mashinani are embracing solar power. The future of KPLC may be dim if they don't speed up to the rural connection program and lower their rate to attract more customers. Jacob Nyende saying that they need to lower their rate. We'll be taking a look at more of that feedback that you're giving me that is concerning the alternative sources of power that we can use in our homes and what it looks like for you and those who are around you. Later on, I'm coming back in a short while, of course, with the CEO of Analytica Soft to help me understand how you can get a professional or get someone with skills that you require at the touch of a button. These skills range from all the way to a house girl and to any other professional that you need their services at the touch of a button. How can you get that? And is that possible? Is that a feasible solution for the challenges that we're facing in the country in terms of the spread of professionals? I'll be sitting down with the CEO. Definitely stay tuned for that. But before that, I'm taking a look at tourism because we're heading out to the festive season, and a group of women from Mida in Malindi sub-county, in Gede Malindi sub-county in Kilifi County, are set to receive a funding to enhance the tourism sector in that particular area. Now, these women have been working together for a period of 16 years now, and they are crediting their unity to the success that they are witnessing currently. Let's have a look.
Found in the outskirts of Gede in Malindi sub-county, Mida Creek is an historical site that has been existent for some decades now. The site has been an attraction center for the tourists from different parts of the world, as well as the local people who visit the site to see a variety of animals. However, very little history is known about the existence of the site.
In order to develop cultural-related sustainable projects which can enhance tourism and eventually enhance the livelihoods of those groups of people. So we came up with a project in which we wanted to enhance specifically ocean-related or maritime-related cultural tourism. And within the coast of Kenya, there are a lot of cultural sites.
According to the research done by the National Museum of Kenya, the area has rich underwater and mainland heritage that dates back many centuries ago. Speaking during a visit to the area, Dr. Purit Kiura, who is the director of Intikit Sites and Monuments, the resources available at the sites can be used to generate a lot of income to the locals if the proper research is done to avail the rich information about the area.
About 3 sites have already been discovered which are of historical importance, and these are mainly historical settlements where people lived in the past, like if you compare them to Gede ruins. So they are that kind of settlements. Some of them have even evidence of wells which were being used then, and they have been abandoned. So those are the sites which we want to enhance, but then now also bring the communities who live within Mida Creek.
For now, the organization is working with a group of women who came up with a project of a restaurant within Mida Creek that will be serving the people who will be touring the sites. Besides, the women group has also established another project in which they'll be using canoes to take the visitors across the area. Caesar Bitter, an underwater archaeologist from the National Museum of Kenya, says their aim is to use maritime cultural heritage to better resilience among the community in Mida Creek.
Create resilience among communities within Mida Creek. The project is based on research to identify the maritime heritage of the creek together with the communities at Mida Creek, and researching on how this heritage can be turned around or can be utilized to make a living for the local people at the creek. For long,
C.D. Thoya, one of the members of the women group, says they have greatly benefited from the project, saying their unit has been a pillar to the success witnessed for now.
Lakini tunashukuru Mungu kwa sababu imefikia wakati tukaona mwangaza, kwa sababu tulipata ufadhili wa kujengewa hoteli katika baharini huko ambako sahi tunafanyia shughuli zetu. Shughuli zenyewe tulizo.
Stephen Masha, KUTV, Nairobi.
Biashara on KUTV Rise Today. Biashara Tuesday. This is Rise Today. My name is Richard Okenye. On social media, find me at Richard_Okenye. We're having a conversation on the business of power in this country. KPLC crying here that most of the consumers who have been using its power. The electricity distributor is warning that a growing number of its top consumers are defecting from the national grid and moving on to alternative sources of energy. It's saying that this shift to solar power has made and pushed the company into dilemma in the wake of excess production of electricity. Remember, we are also coming from a period of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's understandable that maybe the rising costs of power in the country are not sustainable for some of the households. So tell me what you feel about this, and do you have any other alternative sources of power that you are using at your home, and how does that look like? That's a conversation that I'm having this morning, even as we tie in with the launch, which I shall be telling you in a short while. First of all, to read some of the feedback that you have sent so far. That is across our social media platforms, SMS and WhatsApp numbers that are put there on your screen. Naomi from Kerotet is saying that she's tuned in. Thank you very much, all the way from Kerotet. And I'd love to get which county that is from. Donaldo Jakojuang saying that I'm waiting on the launch all the way from Turkey. Thank you very much for tuning in all the way from Turkey. Remember, we are live on Facebook on KUTV Kenya, so you can stream that all over anywhere it is that you are watching this from. Mitambo Dennis from Wetavia, thank you very much for tuning in. Cynthia Tanui from Syokimau, you're saying that, what was that joke? Even, I guess that is about my chopper being ferried on Mombasa Road last week, or the traffic that was caused right there. Now, on the launch, we are trying to understand how you can get professionals, people who have skills that you need at the moment on the spot. You are a professional as well. You're a plumber. You are a house girl. You are an electrician. You want to get your services be accessed on the spot, on real time. How do you ensure that happens? You're someone who's looking for those skills. You're looking for people in the market to service your needs. How do you get that in an instant through your phone? Technology empowered means of accessing these professionals. I'm sitting down with the CEO of Analytica Soft. Welcome to studio.
Thank you so much,
I've had you here before.
Yes, Richard.
How has it been since the last time?
It has been okay with us.
Right.
A few of challenges related to coronavirus, but we are here once again. Thank you so much.
And you've evolved as a result of these challenges.
Yes, definitely we have.
Right, so what do we have right now from you with your genius in the world of technology?
Thank you. We have Analytica Soft. We are providing a very important solution to the current problems we have in the country. We are linking these blue-collar people to the people who need their services.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
So far, how many users do you have on this platform?
We have very many users, but I can account for verified users because our platform verifies their users so that when you get your customer, you know that this is not a scammer. We have 100 verified users on our platform.
What's your verification method for ensuring that you have the accurate professionals on the platform?
We look at the standards on the industry. For instance, if you are an electrician, you need to have a certificate from KPLC. Yeah. So
Right.
the standards differ with every profession.
Since you have verified users and you have unverified users,
yeah.
How does that look like? Because if I need a professional, I want someone who's really verified, but you're giving me an option of someone you can't account for.
No. The unverified users, you can't access them. The only thing we can do to unverified users is perhaps sending them a birthday message.
Right.
Yeah.
But they still do access work through your platform.
They can see what we're doing, but they can't access work.
How do they get to a point where they can access work?
They have to submit a verification from their end. We look at their profile. If there's anything that is incomplete, we ask them to complete.
Do all the industries and professionals that you have on the platform have a method of verification? Because if it's an electrician, I guess a certification to handle matters power. For a plumber, I guess the same. But there are those skills such as house girls and a few others. How do you ensure that the ones who are on the platform are well verified?
Thank you for that. For a house girl, there are quite a number of issues we look at. These issues are based on the user preferences, the consumer. Right. We look at height, where she comes from, her salary range, and especially we need a referee for a house girl, because a house girl without a referee sometimes becomes quite challenging.
Do you do skill training for the professionals as well?
We are yet to start that online, starting this December. Thank you. Yeah.
Now, I want us to look from the side of both of these, the users on the platform. So we have professionals and we have those who are looking for these professionals. I am a professional and I want to get onto Analytica Soft. Take me through the journey up to a point where I get verified.
Thank you so much for that question. I think for our users watching this is very important for you. You just need to go to Google and search Analytica Soft. Most probably the first link will be our website. We have already checked that. Go and register. There are registration requirements that you will be given. Once you register from the platform, you will need to update your biodata. You will need to update your profile, your years of experience. And if you don't do that, you will automatically get an SMS from our system that your account is incomplete and you need to do that. If you are a technician, definitely you need to subscribe to access the services that are there.
Right.
Yeah,
and now on the side of those people who are looking, or for the clients who are looking for these professionals, how do, for example, at this very moment, if I needed to get an electrician, how do I get that?
Okay. If you need an electrician, once you sign up, you need to provide information about your residence, if you are a household. Once you provide detailed information about your residence, you are eligible to hire a house girl.
And that isn't too much information to provide?
Isn't too much. That's too simple for you. Right. Because the information you give us is what we will use to verify or to find you in case there are any challenges on our system.
What is the range of professionals that you accommodate on the platform? Is it only people who are skilled at, services such as electricity, plumbing, those daily requirements for the household, or does it range even to more professionals such as business developers, presenters, or any other?
Okay, it ranges. Actually, we have thousands of professions on our platform.
Okay.
Basically, we are looking for people who can be hired on either on fixed tenure or permanent basis. For instance, if you are an accountant specialized in tax, someone may just need your work for a particular period and that contract is done. That person is still eligible to log into our system and use our system.
Right.
And any other person like a plumber, a house girl. So we've carefully crafted quite a number of professions on our platform, and we're still doing so based on our user feedbacks. So we are determined to providing the best.
Right. There are so many players in the industry doing something similar or the same thing that you are offering.
Yes.
An example is companies that have hosted right here on Biashara Tuesday. We've had Yusudi, who are training the young or the youth in the country to have market-relevant skills and go out there and secure jobs. We have onesha.co.ke, who as well provide those professionals at the instant of a button who are mostly creatives. So we have a lot of players in the industry. How do you ensure that you are above the rest, or you're at par with those who are already pioneered in the field?
Thank you. Allow me to answer this question at my own speed.
Okay.
Now, when you come to our platform as someone who wants to hire an employee, you already realize that our name is Analytica Soft. There are quite a number of analytics you need to do in order to give you an employee. There's no need of giving you a list of 50 employees and you dismiss all of them. So our analytics will analyze, based on the database we have, an employee that will suit your preference, and we give you the top 3. So we believe that from this top 3, you're going to get the right guy.
How do you ensure that how do you do the analytics to get a top 3?
Well, you give the system information you want. If you want a house girl, you say the age, the color, for instance, height, where she comes from, her years of experience, and all that. So the system will look at what you've given it
and filter out.
Yes.
Right.
Then gives you the top 3.
Right. So
we even have ratings on our platform. So the ratings are based on how well this employee or this technician has worked with other
and this
employers.
Comes from employers.
Exactly.
Do the professionals get to rate their employers as well?
That's where the rating comes from. Yes.
So when they rate an employer, do you get? Is there a way for you to filter out employers who have been badly rated out of the platform, or the professionals as well?
Yes. Of course, if your ratings are poor, you occasionally may get a call from a customer care unit. They'll tell you that your ratings are poor. Sometimes we look at the comments the customers give for the reason of poor rating, and we advise accordingly.
Right. And now, how do you ensure that the professionals, once they're sent out, or where does your work end once you release someone into employment? Let's say, for example, you have found someone who's good at tax, and they need to get employment. They've been picked out of Analytica Soft platform. How do you ensure that? Do you ensure, first of all, that the work environment for them later on is guaranteed to be something that's favorable for them, or is that now up to them after they leave the platform?
Actually, our platform only does the linking.
Right.
Because once we start following up on the company side, that may be quite challenging. But that notwithstanding, doesn't assume the fact that we have already verified this as legit employers who have good working environment. Of course, if you do not provide relevant information or information that will convince us that you can hire someone from our platform, we won't give you that chance.
Right.
Yes.
Now, I need to know, or people need to know, because that's something that most people are concerned to. Getting into platforms such as this, there is usually a cut in terms of how much they earn. Then you, of course, take a bit of that because you helped you helped the linking between them and their employer. How does that look like? How do the rates look like? Because that's something, of course, people are concerned about.
Yes, yes.
How much or at what rate is my salary or my cut going to be given to Analytica?
Thank you. I heard somebody saying they take a percentage of salaries. For us at Analytica Soft, we do not. Actually, if you come at Analytica Soft, we don't take even 1% of your first payment. All we need is to link you to your favorite employer, and we link the favorite employer to their best employee. That's what we do. The only thing we do is charge you for the platform at a very small fee, by the way, 99 bob. That is for maintenance, sending you alerts, and of course ensuring that things run.
99 bob is per month or a
yeah,
one-time
for 30
subscription?
days. For 30 days.
All right.
Yes, yes.
And then now on the side of the company, do they also
We
get to
don't
subscribe?
charge. We don't charge.
So only
because we understand we are a third world economy. Sorry. If we are interested in solving the problems that the people have, one of the problems that people have is cash. So if we start charging them on whether they are going to hire and to get hired, we are not solving a problem. We are taking an advantage. For us, we are solving a problem.
Going to do that.
Yes, yes.
You're saying that you have not gotten to the point where you're doing career development. How are you going to go about that in the end?
Okay, from our technical team, we want to roll out our first in December, and we want to do it virtually. We want to start with what can be done online, like data entry, virtual assistants. Such careers are going to be trained at Analytica Soft, and they're going to be completely free.
They are going to be completely free?
Free, yes.
That's free training?
Free training, because we want users of our platform to be experts.
Okay.
We want anyone, anywhere, to be referred to Analytica Soft.
Right.
Yes.
Now, for someone to access Analytica Soft, I understand they need to go onto your platform.
Yes, yes.
Mobile penetration in Kenya is huge.
Yes,
yes. But still, some of these skills that, or some of the professionals that you want on the skill may not have access onto smartphones or the internet connectivity. How do they ensure that they still benefit from Analytica?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And that's where we beat all the rest.
Okay.
You see, at
that's good confidence.
Yeah. At Analytica Soft, the only time you need to get online is when you are creating an account and providing all the information we need if you are an employee or a technician.
Right.
Once that is done, you leave everything unto us. The system is automated right from selection to everything. Once somebody needs your service, you'll automatically get an instant SMS on your phone. So that SMS will give you the details of the person, including their contact number, and you're able to communicate. We understand Mama Fua may not have a smartphone. Well, she may have it, but not the bundles.
Right.
Or even if she has both, she may not have that time of keeping
constantly keeping on the
checking
phone.
On the platform.
Right.
Yeah, yes, yes.
So that has covered everyone. And
everyone,
and
yes.
you're saying you're beating all the other competitors in this.
Beating them. Yeah, because you see, we are looking at the challenges these people have. Actually, if I promise a job to you through our platform, and somebody comes looking for employers, actually one employer, and I send this alert to 50 people,
right.
The chances that you'll get this opportunity is 2 out of 100. Have I helped you?
That's a very low chance. You haven't helped me.
I haven't helped you.
Right.
So that's why we are saying at Analytica Soft, by the time you get an alert, you are sure it's only 2 or one other person that has an alert, because we also want to ensure that there is reliability. We can't give the alert to only one person.
Right. So what is the demographic looking like for the users who are on a platform in terms of, are they majority of them youth, or is it like people who have already gone through the industry for a long time?
Actually, we have majority are youth, especially for the technicians and people seeking employment. The youth, most of them actually leave us at Form 4 level.
Right.
And for the customers, we have the people who are employing are actually, most of them are homestead users. People in homesteads like Kitengela, Utawala, Ruai, yes.
Right. Thank you very much for staying tuned to us. We are trying to solve employment, the problem of unemployment, in the country. The youth are the most affected, of course, in the country. And Analytica Soft are trying to do that by ensuring that professionals, technicians, and anyone with a skill who can get onto their platform at a very low rate of 99 shillings a month. Yes. Right, so you can get onto the platform and wait on them to connect you to the best employer in the market. As well, for anyone who is looking for professionals, you can get onto their platform, analyticasoft.co.ke, and you can check out the range of skills or professionals that they have on the platform. Maybe the last remarks from you, and also to say that I wish you all the best as you try and solve, because this is a very big challenge in the country right now. A lot of people with skills, and they've lost jobs as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. So it is impressive to see that this is something that you're doing as also someone who I've had on the platform, who I've had here, and very well skilled in technology matters, technology, something I'm really passionate about. Maybe your last remarks there as we even wind up this interview.
Thank you so much, Richard, for hosting me here. This is what I can say to our clients. Make sure you visit www.analyticasoft.co.ke and register, because at Analytica Soft, you're going to get the best and you're going to be offered the best. I am very much sincere, and I would like to thank my team at Analytica Soft, my marketing manager, Mr. James Wesonga. I have a dedicated IT team led by Elvis, our customer care led by Moses. I'm very much grateful for you people. You are really working so hard to ensure that our clients get the best. To our clients, I want to assure you, try visiting Analytica Soft and you're not going to regret. Thank you so much, Richard, for hosting me.
Thank you very much for coming to, and I hope that you get to give us more products such as this one, so that we can have you here and try to solve most of these problems. Right, KUTV Rise today, Biashara today still goes on, and since we're coming from Matters Technology, Tech Voice is coming to you right now. Online streaming is that thing that we are looking at. Some of you woke up late this morning because yesterday night you were on Netflix and chill. Are you still watching online streaming on KUTV's Tech Voice?
Welcome to Analytica Soft, your leading blue-collar jobs connector. Log into www.analyticasoft.co.ke and create an account. You can select on hire if you are a client or an employer, or select on get hired if you are a technician or a service provider. Once you've selected as a technician, you can choose the package that we are offering there. We have the basic, which is 99 shillings, that allows you to provide one service. Let us look at how you can request a service on Analytica Soft. Once you've logged in using your account details, click on the menu icon and scroll down to services. A list of
And that was Analytica Soft. Analytica Soft is trying to solve the problem of unemployment in the country by seeking to connect employers and employees. How does that happen on their platform? Check them out at analyticasoft.co.ke. Continuing on that very same conversation, JobJack Kenya is trying to solve the same problem, trying to connect employees and employers. We are trying to see and solve the problem of unemployment in the country, which is very rampant, especially among the demographic of youth. But before we get into that, I had promised you some Netflix and chill, some Filamu and relax, some Showmax and Promax. I'm trying to be witty with that caption. Right, Tech Voice is coming to you right now on KUTV's Biashara Tuesday. The word streaming means listening to music or watching a video in real time, rather than to wait for the video to be downloaded to the device and then watching it. I am Richard Okenye, and on Tech Voice this Tuesday, we take a look at online streaming services. Streaming service providers are becoming TV alternatives, especially at a time that few care about live programming. These subscriptions have made life easier compared to going to the movie theaters for 300 Kenya shillings or 800 Kenya shillings, or buying movies, mostly pirated and not clear. High-speed internet plans at low costs and increasing popularity of on-video demand services has anticipated the drive in the growth of that market. We have slowly been moving forward with the rise of streaming apps, and Netflix has obviously made its way to the hearts of Kenyans as it has grown in the market ever since. That, of course, has seen the dawn of alternative services like Showmax, Filamu, and Amazon Prime Video that other Kenyans have been exploring with time. Showmax offered access to popular channels like HBO for premium international and local content at a low price of 250 Kenya shillings, a price that was then reviewed to 330 Kenya shillings for the select option and 880 for the premium option. November 2019 saw Showmax announce that it will further curate content for its African audience, where they will feature even more African content and live sport, as well as TV series, movies, and kids shows. Then on November 28, 2020, Africa's first Netflix original series, South Africa's Queen Sono, premiered on the platform. This described model has seen Mdundo sign up to 80,000 African artists with a collective catalog of 1.5 million songs. With only 5 million active users, Mdundo still only services a portion of the African market and faces competition from other players on the continent. One of those is Boomplay, the music streaming service owned by Transion, Africa's top phone maker. Despite the rise of streaming as the primary mode of music and video consumption globally, illegal music and movie download sites have remained a major source for most users in Kenya. The impact for local Kenyan artists has been missing out on major potential earnings from streaming platforms. Spotify, for example, has consistently avoided the African continent despite heavily using content originating from our own artists. Never mind the fact that one always needs to go through a few hoops, such as the use of VPN services, before being able to use the service, as it's still not available to users in Kenya and all of sub-Saharan Africa except the obvious, South Africa. But the future of TV is the internet, and the home of internet in Africa is mobile. More than 80% of broadband internet in Africa is accessed via smartphones and tablets. Mobile devices are the place where consumers in our markets will increasingly connect with the content they love. Spotify is not available in your country. YouTube, this video cannot be played in your region. Those are some of the things that you encounter online when you're trying to access your music. Netflix is not available in every single country, but Deezer is. Deezer is available in your country. Spotify isn't. iTunes, you have to pay for. What else? Streaming platforms, Showmax, there are subscription platforms. Filamu.co.ke, that is another online streaming platform for your movies and for your watching at home. So what is the solution to content online, to entertainment online, streaming for us here in the country? The best thing is for us to get content that is locally available, locally made and locally available in Kenya. If you go to the libraries that are online, very, very few movies or very few shows, very few songs are available that are coming out of our own creatives. Spotify still profits from our artists still not available in the country. That's a sad state, but there are many other streaming platforms that you can use. That is a piece that was brought to you right here on Biashara Tuesdays, KUTV Rise Today. Now, moving on with our discussion on unemployment and trying to connect employees to employers. I'm sitting here with someone who is a professional financial engineer, business development and strategist at Jobja Kenya, Thomas Mbashu. Welcome to KUTV Rise Today's studios.
Thank you, Mr. Okenye. It's a pleasure.
It's also a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Unemployment in the country, something that the youth, me and you are youth in the country, and we understand that this is a very big issue, in especially coming from a period where a lot of people have lost their livelihoods, economies are grappling all across the world. How is unemployment, or how is employment looking like right here in the country in your own perspective?
At the moment, this is a sad state of affair. According to the statistics, the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics data of 2019, the government estimated that there's a 2.64% unemployment rate in the country. Right. It's expected that the unemployment rate is going to increase to 2.65%. However, there are strong or rather large contradictions to the statistics offered by the government. The World Bank estimates that the rate of unemployment will be around 7.65% for this year. At the onset of COVID-19, people have lost their jobs, people have been retrenched. So more than 1.7 million Kenyans have lost their job.
That's a huge number.
Yes, that's a really huge number. And the sad state of affairs is that as per our census, the 2019 census, 78% of Kenyans are youth.
Right.
Now that's approximately 37 million youth Kenyans.
Wow.
Now the sad state of affairs is, at the moment we have a lot of youth coming out of universities, graduating,
right,
but there are no jobs.
There are no jobs for them out here.
Yes. Now sorry for that. The government is apparently purporting to
solve this.
To solve this, and it's issued a number of expansionary fiscal policies. Right. But the sad state is still that despite all the expansionary fiscal policies, fiscal motive, the borrowing and the government spending, the increase in taxes isn't really being felt by the youth on the ground. Right. There are no jobs simply to put it out.
And JobJack is trying to solve this by connecting employers to job seekers. Yes. What is your role at JobJack at the moment?
Now, we all know that Nairobi is a very tough place. Yeah, this isn't for the faint-hearted.
Right.
Yeah. Now, when we started JobJack Kenya around last year in April 2019, we wanted to focus on the low-skilled job market niche.
Entry-level jobs.
Yes, entry-level jobs. Right. So now, with us, we want to make sure that the security guards, the housekeepers, they get jobs. The process is hectic, imagine. Right. For a housekeeper who is paid a mere 4,000 shillings per month.
Right, and it's still difficult for them to find a job.
Imagine.
Right, so JobJack is trying to solve that issue for entry-level seekers. Yes. How does JobJack do that?
Now, JobJack created an online platform. We have a website. With our platform now, it's a two-interface platform. We have the company side and we have the potential employee side. At the moment, we have a pool of more than 5,219 potential employees. And we have a pool of more than 15 potential employers. Now, the sad state is that the employers would want to employ people, right, but there's no money.
Okay.
COVID-19 has come. COVID-19 has affected a lot of people.
And a lot of businesses as well.
Yes, we've been doing a lot of cold messaging, cold emailing, and cold calling the potential employers, but they want to give you the jobs. The government has issued moratorium for all the SMEs, right, but this isn't enough yet. So there are no jobs, yeah.
For the job seekers who are coming onto the platform, what does the journey look like? Because I was sitting here with someone from Analyticasoft, and they are still also trying to do and solve a similar thing, which is very exciting to also have you at the same time that we're having this particular discussion. The journey for someone who's going to JobJack now. I am an entry-level plumber or electrician. I want to access jobs through JobJack. Take me through the process from zero all the way to when I get a job.
Okay. We believe in simplicity at JobJack. We've tried to simplify the process for everyone. So now the first step is once you log into our system, you have to sign up. Right. Once you signed up, we don't need any form of curriculum vitae. We don't ask you that. So now through our user interface, the user interface will try to look at the skills that you've mentioned that you're good at. Then once you've done that, you let us get you the employer.
Right. Yeah. Analytica told me again, sorry for making a reference to someone who's a platform that is a competing company for your organization, but for them, they have a verification method where they ensure that all the professionals who are on the platform are verified in terms of the background and the skills that they claim they have. And this is also helpful for the employer. Does JobJack have a verification method, or how do I know that someone who you're giving me as a plumber or an electrician, now from my perspective as a company that is trying to hire, how do I ensure and know that this person is verified and they actually can deliver what they say they do?
Also, okay, thank you for that. And Analytica is doing a good job. We all want to give everyone jobs.
Good.
Now at JobJack, we do physical meetups with all potential employees.
Okay.
Once we've done that, what's the criteria of choosing a security guard?
It's doing an interview.
Exactly. We do the interview. We need a certificate of good conduct. We don't want you to go and steal.
Right.
for the people whom we are supposed to take care of them and
Right.
ensure their safety.
Right.
So we do physical meetups with you. We let you know of all our requirements from
Right.
you.
Right.
We look at honesty. Honesty is very important from you. So there are those minimum viable requirements that we require to you as a Kenyan citizen. We require you to be of good conduct. So there are things, I mean, if you know how to cook, if you've cooked well, if you can really prove that you've worked at previous cafes, then
that you ensure
yes.
for the employers that they are having someone who's
Yes.
at par. Now, you mentioned that you would not want, of course, for someone to get a job and then go out there and mess up the workplace that they go to. Where do you draw the line as from the point where you connect these two? Again, going back to the loans, Analytica tell me that they draw the line once they send out the employee. The workplace and the politics of where they've gone to is not up to them. Is there a way that you follow up still after they get the jobs, or do you also still draw a line and leave all that to the workplace?
Okay, we do our own in-house search on all our potential employers.
Right.
Now what happens with us is we take a look at key statistics such as the rate of turnover in a company. If the rate of turnover is high, it means that this company has a culture that simply lets employees come in and go out of the company.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if I am I'm an employer who wants to come and get someone from your platform, that is at JobJack. Also take me through the journey now from the other side as well, on coming to get if I want to get someone right now from JobJack, how do I do that?
Okay, so you sign up. We have another interface for potential companies, potential employers. Once you've signed up, you let us know. You let us know of the vacancies available in your company. Then once you've let us know, we'll do the whole process in less than 48 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you will provide me with someone in 48 hours?
We'll provide you 4 to 5 people.
That is extremely fast.
Yes.
And I understand you're handling a lot of data. This is data ranging from across so many professionals, across so many companies. How do you ensure that this data is very secure? Because this is still personal data.
Yes. Now, data safety is key. Data safety is crucial to every place.
Right.
Now, we've invested in technology, current technology. We want to have the data encrypted. We don't share our data with any third-party platform.
So you do not sell it out.
We don't sell our data.
I'm not going to get an ad after this on Facebook.
Definitely no. It's sad. I mean, you won't search for a job and then get, looking for a cashier, looking for a plumber, looking for an electrician.
Right. So you do not sell this data to anyone else.
We don't. Absolutely. We respect your privacy. We value your data.
Right. Yeah. Now, in terms of the amount of money, you are a financial engineer, and this is a very critical part. How much money do I have to pay for me to be on the platform as a job seeker and as well as an employer who needs someone?
We charge a placement fee. The placement fee is only 10% of your initial first month salary.
And then for the rest of the time,
you do
your thing.
You go do your thing, you go make yourself proud.
And on the side of the employers, do they have to subscribe onto the platform?
No.
So that's free for them?
Yes.
Right, thank you. And I think this is a very impressive way of trying to solve the problem of unemployment in the country. And I hope that JobJack continues doing that. Sadly, because of time, again, we couldn't delve more into this conversation. But maybe your last remarks on this camera on how people can get more involved with JobJack. Because if this is an online platform, how do they ensure that they come to JobJack? We have Mama Fua. Something that we've been discussing is we have Mama Fua out there with a phone, and they do not have data, or they do not have that, that ability to always constantly check on their phones if they've gotten their jobs. So how do you ensure that those ones are still catered for and across all the platforms? What is the range of, because you're saying entry-level jobs, what is the range of professionals that you cater for? Because there are those that cannot maybe get onto the platform. And maybe your last remarks to round up that on this camera.
Okay, thanks a lot for having me. Internet connectivity at the moment in the country is at 86%. This is a very encouraging statistic.
Right.
Now, 94% of Kenyans have a phone. This is also an interesting statistic.
It's also one of the largest in the world.
Yes, yes. Right. I mean, look at how M-Pesa has maximized on that.
Right.
Now, we're looking at introducing a USSD code to cater for the likes of Mama Fua and housekeepers.
Right.
To be frank about that. And what you need to do is simply sign up on our platform. We'll get you the jobs.
Right.
Don't stress yourself out in Nairobi. We'll get you the jobs. We deliver.
That's
Just
a very,
don't
that's a
stress
very heavy
yourself out.
promise.
Yeah, I mean we deliver. We are here to
You're very
get you the
confident
jobs.
about your delivery.
I mean, yeah.
Good. Is there a physical location that someone can access JobJack from?
Yeah, we work from Workstyle in Westlands, opposite Safaricom headquarters
Right.
at the moment, yeah.
So that is Thomas Mbashu from JobJack Kenya, trying to make me understand how JobJack is helping people secure jobs in the country. Sign up onto their platform. The only thing that they charge for you to get a job through their platform is 10% of the first fee. The first salary, your first salary, after they link you with your employer, 10% of your first salary, and then they leave you to enjoy your money. They're saying, or Mbashu is telling me and assuring me that you can get a job in this Nairobi. Do not struggle while there is JobJack Kenya. So reach them out on social media.
Yes, at JobJack Kenya on all the social media platforms.
At JobJack Kenya on
Yes.
all the social media platforms. That is where you can get to also see what they have. I've been trying to get your feedback. That is in regards to what is happening in the country. Kenya Power raises alarm over most of its customers switching onto solar power, which I'll be taking a look at your feedback after I take a very short breather right here on KUTV Rise Today. Right. Kenya Power is crying that most of its customers, top customers, are defecting from the national grid and going to solar power. I'm trying to understand if that is the case for some of you at home and what it looks like. I'm going to read your feedback. It is overwhelming, but that is what we are going to be looking at now. Here is, first of all, Olunga Wesonga is saying that streaming live from Parklands. Asante sana, Olunga Wesonga. Dear Kenyans, now this is matters electricity. Dear Kenyans, for the past 13 years, I have spent over 850,000 on power. A year ago, after inflating power bill from 2,700 a month to 43,000, I took action and boycotted KPLC, moving to solar power. It's time to make that move. That is coming from Zero Teach Say on Twitter. Ben Kitili, who's also someone in the media industry, saying that on July 6th, I bought 21 units for 500. So it's all about complaints. 21 units for 500 a day, 1,000 a day for 6 days. 2 days later, all of it is gone. So a lot of people are complaining. A lot of people are complaining that they are spending a lot of money on bills, on KPLC bills. Going to read a couple of feedback as well. When people realized that it's not only internet providers that can provide telephony services, people automatically switch to other competitors. Now, anyway, the time is coming soon. Other utility companies, such as KPLC, will start doing power, other than KPLC, sorry, will start doing power locally too, and they will push them out of business. KPLC has been having the monopoly in terms of power distribution in the country. Is there hope for other people, or is there a hope for KPLC to improve their services? Is a conversation that is happening online right now. I'm going to read more feedback from you. On query, they have been averaging bills for the past 6 months to be 97K for me. Fair enough, but average bills were always lower than that. So how? And this is Kenneth Onancha. Pauline, who's saying that this is what happens with monopoly. KPLC thought they were bigger than God. Sorry. KPLC thought they were bigger. The government should consider licensing other alternative companies with the ability to provide power to enhance competition. This will force them to up their game. That's some of the feedback, overwhelming feedback that I'm receiving from you that is in matters of power generation in the country. We've been having this discussion from when we started the show at 7 in the morning. KPLC, of course, saying that most of its top clients are switching gears from the national grid and providing themselves with reliable and cheaper supply of electricity into their home. Maybe to read one statement from Kenya Power in regards to the same. The company is saying that they operated in challenging environment over the financial year under review, where the demand growth at 3.7% remained below the projected level of 5% of demand from the consumers. This also dampened the demand growth in further component with the increasing threats of grid defection by industry category and renewable options that are becoming more available and cheaper. The company got 63 billion from industrial customers, and this represents 45% of its total revenue, which means KPLC is losing to alternative energy providers. Continue this conversation even as we end the show, and this conversation can be held online all across our social media platforms at KUTV Kenya. You can also have it on my handle at Richard_Okenye. Loving the show. It's really educative. Happy for you. This is coming from Robinson Wanga. Thank you very much, Robinson Wanga, for tuning in to the show. Jameson Wesonga, Analytica Soft could be a game changer in the blue-collar market. Such sharp minds are what we require when everything is moving technology. Victor Malala, bravo, bravo. Thank you very much for tuning in. And more of that feedback that I could still cover through one show. This is Biashara Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I'll be here, same place, same time. My name is Richard Okenye. Wise quote of the day: do not approach a bull from the front, a donkey from the back, and a horse from the left. Stay tuned.
Najaribu kusikiza madonda Breshkeja amedata akiskuma amechoka na nguo za Gikomba Karanja kuna dona fa kutuma niweke kwa inamba buda boss tuma kitu na tumepia na ya kutoa tuma kitu manze form sio poa tuma kitu
Sururu wa masomo kwa wanafunzi wa darasa la 8 na kidato cha 4 utakujia mubashara ukiletea na waandalizi wa KCPE na KCSE. Elimu Live ni kipindi kinachojaza mianya kwenye mchakato wa elimu baada ya kulipuka kwa virusi vya corona duniani. Maelezo nyerezi na kenye yanayofungamana na mahitaji ya mtaala wa elimu yatakufikia sebuleni kupitia runinga yako, tarakilishi na hata kwenye simu kiganjani.